So this is an update video on sharpening my Japanese chisels. Now this is going to be focused on the backs because I had to change techniques in what I was doing in order to get the backs flat. They were a lot more, they were quite a lot more warped or bowed in the center than what I thought they were, and it took forever and I spent a lot of time. So this video is just going to cover what I did to try and make the process faster. My advice is, if you do have a set of these and you want to get a set of these now, I got these from Woodcraft, so I don't know if these are really, to me they seem really good quality. I really like them. So I didn't know if it was because of the quality. Maybe that's what happened, but it takes an awful lot to grind these. So my recommendation is, if you got a grinder that you can grind or a belt sander, start off with that, get them flat that way. Because when you do this with a 300 or even with 120, it's some time. I've got good 2 days in just trying to get these backs flat. I should have switched to something earlier, but now I'm almost done. So in this video, like I said, I'm going to be covering what I did to try and speed the process up. Once I did start using 120, the process went a lot faster. Now once I do grind the backs flat, I won't have to ever do this again. They'll always be flat. Is it worth it doing it? Yes, it is. That's why I keep on doing it. That's why I kept on wanting to grind these out and make sure that they were good and flat. Because once they do go dull, to resharpen them really just takes a couple of minutes. So unless I drop and have to grind it again, unless I drop it and break the cutting edge, then I won't have any problems with it. All I'll have to do is just take a 1000 grit, hit it a few times, go to 16 thou, then hit my strop, and I'll be good to go. So let me show you what I've been up against. Now, so I put the chisel here. This is flat. Put the chisel here. All these chisels, there's a gap right here at the very beginning that I have to grind. So I have to grind all this down just to get that flat, and that's what makes it rough. And it does take quite a long time. Okay, so now I got my stone out. I got 300 grit. Now the problem is, I'm going to show you here, this up here where the cutting part is not flat. It kind of curves up. Thank God for the hollowness in here, because if it wasn't for that, it would take forever. So I'm just going to do it like I've been doing it. Okay, let's see. Yeah, see, as you can see, this right here is starting to grind, but this up here is not. So I'll have to get all of this material right through here flat before I even get to there. So I'm starting to get somewhere on the very ends of this. I gave up. I got 120, which is wet and dry sandpaper, to try and get this out, knock it out really fast. This is just, wow, it takes a very long time. And all I did was put the 120 right on top of the stone there, and it has water on it, so it kind of adheres to it or sticks to it. Okay, I'm good there. Ow. I'm going to give it a few more passes and then go to the 300. Now, as you can see, it's starting to get flat all the way around except for the cutting edge. And hopefully it won't take too much longer to get that out of there. That's why I had to switch techniques on grinding these. Now I am very happy with the chisels. Like I said, once I sharpen these are very nice. They seem to be pretty well made, good quality made, other than when you get along the edges, which I showed you in the last video, you have some serrations through here to where they really didn't grind it that good. But I'm not going to mess with it. That's a project for, I guess, another rainy day. It doesn't even look like, to be honest with you, like when you look through here, this is not square. I noticed in one of them that it looked a little off, especially right at the tip. I can't figure out which one it was, but it was one of these like this one right here. Nope. It's this one. The edge right here actually isn't straight. It's kind of tilted in. And the problem with the backs is the front part of them were actually bent up. So I had a hump in here. So that's what I have to grind away. And that is a process. I've never really had to work this much on a pair of chisels before. Of course, there's 10 of these, so I decided to make this video because the backs were such a problem. They were a huge problem. I've never had this much problem on the back of chisels before. Grinding these things has just really just been a bear. Now, I ended up going to 120 and then doing the 300 because it's just too much for a 300. So if you do plan on doing these, I mean, just be prepared. After I did a couple of these, I watched some videos and the guys made it look easy, and theirs didn't seem to be too far off. They were doing it by the way I'm doing it, by hand. But these ones right here, I bought these from Woodcraft, so I don't know. These are supposed to be Japanese chisels. They are, once I sharpen them, they are extremely sharp. I still got to finish grinding this one and this one. And the first one took me a good, and it was like, I believe this chisel here, and it took me something like 2.5 hours, 3 hours just to get the back. And that was just grinding with a 300. It wasn't until I got to the bigger size I thought, well, I'm going to do the 120. So my recommendations is if you got a grinder or a belt sander, start off with that, get it flat, and then maybe go to a 120, then go to a 300. And if you really want a mirror finish on these, you know, you're going to go 120, 300, go to a 600 to 1,000, 3,000, 8,000, maybe 16,000, and then a polishing compound. That'll really give you a nice mirror finish on it. All I'm doing is just basically going from 120 to 300 to 1,000, 16,000, and then polishing it up just to get a nice, because I really don't care about the mirror finish, but I just care how sharp this is. So I still got to work on this a little bit, and hopefully I won't be on here too much longer. Like I said, I still got one more to go. I'm hoping I'm not out here for that, taking a couple hours on that. So you figure I got 10 of these. It took, man, I must have spent yesterday from 10 a.m. to 6:30, 7 o'clock last night just trying to get these set up, especially grinding the back. I should have just automatically switched to 120 or went and got a belt sander or something like that, but now I'm almost done with them. So until next time, I'm Edward Short, the Hoosier Craftsman. Happy and safe woodworking.